we have the NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we're not going to get too deep into it. It's still a couple weeks away. I think it's February 26th. Billy V, correct me if I'm wrong. That's right? All right, we're
Perfect.
good. So, it's February 26th. Now, we've endured some pretty bad All-Star games recently.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl was obviously a flop, and even the play.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers
even
came
thinking
out.
about canceling the damn thing because
Yeah.
it's just a useless piece of junk.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers very critical about the Pro Bowl and how everybody's effort on that.
Mm-hmm.
The NHL All-Star Game, you know, aside from the skills competition,
Yeah.
the game itself was, you know.
And it's difficult too because a good thing about hockey is the hitting and the physicality of it. You take that out of it, it just really becomes a skate around.
So we did a poll, and we did a poll on the website or on our Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So look us up on Facebook, Sportto Network. And we asked what sport has the best All-Star game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think NBA won.
Yeah.
Right, and I definitely voted for the NBA because
Yeah.
I think it does have the best All-Star weekend in general.
Right.
Right, the dunk competition, although it's become a bit of a circus over the past couple of years.
You know what's happened with the dunk competition? It used to be about skill, talent, and they're just natural, raw, innate ability. And the marketers got their hands in there. The brands and the big, companies with the heavy dollars, they got their hands in there. And once they got in, it was like, okay, it's become a joke fest now. I can jump over a car.
Well, what kind of car can he jump over?
Yeah, if I bring a Range Rover next year, is that a 10? But if you jump over a Kia, I'm sorry. Now that there's a range in here, that's a 7.
Well, if somebody jump over a Range Rover, I don't care who's involved in it.
Fair enough.
If somebody did a range, then I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, slow clap.
Yeah.
Definitely. But the reality of the situation is, it's become prop filled. I'm gonna wear this guy's jersey for nostalgic purposes. I'm gonna jump over
Things
this
that
guy.
have absolutely nothing
to do with whether or not you
act of putting the ball
Right.
in the net
Right.
with style and flair, which
Right.
is what it's all about.
It should be about. But at the same time, you can't blame these guys because these guys are millionaires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're making, let's say, $26,000 every 2 weeks. And that's like an extremely poor paying job for an NBA player.
Right.
Okay, let's say you make it $26,000 every 2 weeks, okay? That's like minimum salary or something like that. Okay, so $26,000 every 2 weeks. You go to the NBA All-Star Game and say, we'll give you a bunch of money to enter the dunk off, right? Now that guy who makes that $26,000, he probably isn't good enough to be in the dunk off. The guy who is good enough, they probably make a couple mil every 2 weeks. They're not looking at your paltry thousands of dollars to get into the dunk off. They're looking at it from a situation of, dude, I could walk around, Orlando, LA, or wherever the games are being held, Dallas. I can walk around the street and be a star and just do my thing and not have to worry about any of that other stuff. Not have to worry about being a basketball player. And I just still get paid. I don't need to be in this dunk off. Well, it's not about pride or any of that stuff anymore.
Let's make it about pride again.
dollars.
How do we make it about pride again? Because when Vince used to do it, and we both,
that was
we're
the best
hardcore
dunk off, by
Raptor
the way.
fans in the prime of Vince.
Yeah, that was the best dunk off.
Yeah, that was the last one that I say, like, I stopped. My basketball fandom, I guess you could say, started to decline after Jordan retired.
Yeah,
but it plateaued a little bit
when
Vince was around, because it's like, holy crap, this guy's amazing.
And his first dunk was so good. Jerry Stackhouse went after,
Yeah.
and the cameras weren't even on him. Like
Everybody's still watching Vince.
The cameras were still following Vince around.
Yeah.
Nobody had even known that Jerry Stackhouse dunked.
Yeah.
And they showed a replay. They're like, this guy went?
There's no YouTube clip of that time.
It was just straight Vince. He walked around. It's over. Everybody remembers all that.
Yeah.
There was no everything else. Like, he could have just done that one dunk, put on his tracks, and gone home.
Yeah.
And it would have been done.
Yeah.
We haven't had that excitement since forever. DeMar DeRozan, he went and he did some pretty good dunks, but he didn't bring enough flair because he didn't sell out to all the...
You mean Dwight Howard putting a sticker on the backboard?
You know what I mean? With a cape on? A guy who's 7 feet tall can probably stand up and put the sticker on anyways?
Yeah, it's a 3-foot jump for him.
And it just annoys me that that's where the NBA's gone with their dunk competition. I feel like they've reached the point of no return now. There's so much money invested, you can't pull those dollars out.
There's got to be a way to make some sort of incentive and just Because even the game itself, like everybody's so worried about injuries now. Everybody's so worried about their contract now.
Right.
So come the All-Star game, come these like events like that, just like nah, B, I'm playing for a contract. It's a contract year, yo.
Yeah.
I'm not doing those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did they do it? Because I remember the All-Star games when it was just like, all right, obviously it's not like a regular game. You know, mans are doing things that they would never in a million years attempt to do live in a game.
And I think that's the great thing with the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity, like these guys, I remember seeing Oliver Miller. If some of you guys, if you're not, if you're not a real Raptors fan, you're not going to know who Oliver Miller is. But just think of big country, a little bit slimmer, and way more worse. Yeah. That's who Oliver Miller was. We had Oliver Miller on our team. This guy came to our school when I was in high school. He came to our school and hit maybe 25 three-pointers in a row. Right. Just standing at the line, 3, 3, 3, 3. It looked easy. And I never understood, why is this guy so terrible in the NBA? Yeah. It's because these guys in the league are so ridiculously, immensely talented that just basic things become difficult when you're up against that kind of a talent.
Right.
Now, when we're talking about the All-Star game, we're dealing with individuals who are so immensely talented. You want to see those moves that they would never actually pull in a game because they're afraid of a turnover, they're afraid of a technical, they're afraid of getting pulled by their coach. All the behind the back, all the embarrassment, all the spiffy passes, all the alley-oops. Yeah, I remember watching the All-Star game, watching Shaquille O'Neal, crossover dribble at the three-point line to take a three-pointer. I was like, yeah, I'd love to see that. I want to see him try that stuff. I'd love to see Dwight Howard play point guard and then go from 5 down and have everybody reverse roles. I'd love to see stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'd love to see them come out and say, our first 10 shots are all going to be half-court shots. Right. You know what I mean? I like that. That's what makes the All-Star game good, because that talent is on showcase.
All right. So the problem with All-Star games is one that isn't unique to basketball, or it's right across the other sports, because it's something that's for the fans. It's great for the fans. It can be entertaining. It can be really fun, but it's not necessarily in the best interest of the players.
Right.
We saw in baseball after they had that, the extra innings game, All-Star game.
Yeah.
They introduced after that. That's like, okay, the All-Star game, they're playing for home field advantage in the World Series.
Right.
Which is great. Gives a little bit of a
makes it worth something.
Makes it worth something, right? The NHL, they introduced the draft, the fantasy draft, which I think was a great idea.
I think that's an amazing idea.
That takes you back to gym class in grade 6. It's just like, no. Yeah, I'll take him. You can take those 3 guys.
There's only 2 guys left. You just you choose.
Yeah.
You choose one of the guys.
Yeah. It's like, it's fair. I'll take him. You take those 3 guys. And we're good, right?
Yeah, we'll just do subs.
Don't worry. We'll play a man's short. It's all good. I just don't want those guys on my team.
And I think that has added a lot of excitement because it's become another spectacle that doesn't damage the game, doesn't damage the league, and doesn't damage the integrity of the sport. It's actual, legitimate fun, and with purposes of all intent to just be fun. Yeah. Right.
I mean, I think if they did like a fantasy draft in the NBA, I think it would be, I think it would be really interesting, because that's, I don't know, hockey players are generally pretty respectful. Like they don't like a lot of showboating. They don't like a lot of what
you're trying to say is they're not hood. They're not hood, right? And let's just skip all of the PC and just that's
they're not hood.
Yeah, that's what would happen if we had an NBA All-Star League. You have mans be like, yo, NY, I'm choosing this guy because he's from my block. Yeah. I'm choosing these mans because, I know these mans. Me and these mans used to run things. We used to do these things. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're calling guys up the night before like, yo, I'm going to run a alley off the first place, so make sure you're ready. Yeah. I'm going to choose you on my team. Yeah. It just wouldn't be right. You know what I mean? Can you imagine, like, LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, and then all of their friends in the league? Like, imagine everybody would say to themselves, I want to play on LeBron's team. I want to play on LeBron's team.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you don't get to choose. You know what I mean? It's just like you pick 2 captains. Yeah. 2 point guards, 2 whatever. It's 2 guys that are like would go head to head against each other. Right. And then it's just 1-1-1-1-1. You just pick the team straight up, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I just don't think it fits the same because of the way. Because of basketball in general. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a team. It would be a team of guards too, right? Yeah. You'd have 8 guards on a team.
No, because you would have to obviously fill every position.
And now we're getting into complications, right?
I think they can figure it out.
Yeah, I was like, you can only choose this much, right? So now you're saying to yourself, oh, it's just they run into the same problems that voting fans like us run into when we're deciding who should we vote for when it comes to the All-Star game. Right. You're looking at a list of the top 10 forwards in the league, and you're saying, wow, how could I leave Kevin Durant out? How can I leave Dirk out? And okay, it's fair that Tim Duncan doesn't make it this year.
You know, sometimes in sports, like in life, you got to make some decisions, Joe, and some people got to get cut.
Yeah, and that's where we get down to is like, certain guys deserve to be in that game. And
right.
That's why we have the coaches.
Who deserves to be in the game and who doesn't. Right? Yeah. Bilal Bakani or Tech over there. Yeah. Billy V.
Well, I was going to tell you 5 minutes left, but let me tell you some other stuff. No, I'm very much in favor of the fantasy draft. I've got an article about Blake Griffin where I kind of suggest that, and I think it's the way to go. I think the biggest thing, and we haven't talked about it, is that the game has to mean something. It has to be for home court advantage in the NBA Finals. Bernard's going to go crazy when you tell him that, but it has to be for home court advantage in the NBA Finals, some way or another.
So Billy V's saying that, and we got to get you some headphones for next time. This is not working.
I do apologize in advance, everyone. This is entirely my fault. I don't have my headphones today.
So he's saying the game's got to be for home court advantage in the NBA Finals, which it might work in a sport like the NBA where there's a couple games here and a couple games there. It's a series, right? But it would never work in something like the NFL where it's just like, I've worked all season.
Yeah, NFL, it's your body. You're putting too much on the line. No. I actually disagree, if you don't mind, Billy V. I actually believe that if we did that, it would add to the problem that we have when it comes to the end of the year. The third half or the quarter or whatever of the NBA season, we typically start to see teams start playing certain guys. You see guys not going as hard. Nobody's taking those charges anymore. They've locked up a seed. They're good. People start jockeying for positions to play against certain teams so they don't mind losing certain games. Right. If we go against that, if it's already decided which home court advantage is, we take another element out of that and make it very easy.
Things like jockeying for position in the playoffs, okay, maybe we don't need to win this game. It's just like that to me, like, that compromises the integrity of the sport.
And I think doing this would just add to that. This would just add to it.
Because, I guess because there's nothing else to play for.
Right. If it's already determined, the first four teams...
But that would be in the finals, though. So you still have, 3 rounds before that in which you would have to,
but nobody gets to the playoffs saying, we're not going to try to win this.
No.
They're going for it just like the other guys.
No, I get that. But, home field advantage home court advantage would still be a thing up until the finals. And the finals would be where that is decided based on the outcome of the All-Star.
I just the NBA has enough problems as it is dealing with just dealing with the attitude of players actually playing hard on a daily basis. It could be one that there's too many games. It could be that halfway through the season we've already established who's who. So guys they don't care anymore. We run into Tank Nation. You know what I mean? First, we actually did a piece on the Raptors. Yeah. First day of the season.
Billy V over there is the driver of Tank Nation.
There we go.
Officially, I have first game. My license is no longer valid. No, I'm just kidding.
He is the official driver of Tank Nation. So if we don't tank, it's all his fault.
And there we go. Right, first game of the year, we're asking, should the Raptors tank?
Yeah.
It's the first game of the season.
And to be fair, there was a lot of fans did not agree with that.
Which is refreshing.
Right.
Exactly.
I thought it was
any realist would say we have no chance of winning. We should be tanking.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the best drafts in a long time, and we always seem to get a high pick when the draft is shit. So let's actually make something worth of it. We need a couple pieces.
Yeah. I